Good evening, everyone. We'll now call to order the meeting of the South Miami City Commission. Today is Tuesday, August 5th, 2025. The time is approximately 7 p.m. Again, as we begin, I'd ask you kindly to please silence or turn off your cell phones. And thank you for joining us. Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Yes, Mayor Fernandez,
Present.
Vice Mayor Corey,
Present.
Commissioner Rodriguez,
Here.
Commissioner Kaye.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. If we could please stand for a moment of silence, and we'll ask for Commissioner Rodriguez to lead us in the pledge. Commissioner.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of
The United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. Thank you. Madam Clerk, I believe we have a few presentations this evening.
Yes, we have 4.
Great. Thank you. If you could read item E1, please.
Yes.
Thank you.
Officer of the Month, May 2025, Detective Jacqueline Dessel.
Thank you. Captain Hill, I think you're doing the presentation this evening. You're recognized.
Thank you, sir. Good evening. My name's Captain Genevieve Hill, of course, with the South Miami Police Department. And actually, Detective Porter, if you can join me, please. Thank you. It's my honor tonight to present the Officer of the Month Award for May 2025 to Detective Jacqueline Del Sol. This prestigious award actually is being given to Detective Del Sol in recognition for her outstanding investigative performance, dedication, and professionalism. During the month of May, Detective Del Sol was assigned a total of 18 cases, 11 active and 7 inactive. She successfully cleared 14 cases, which included 4 felony arrests, 1 misdemeanor arrest, 4 traffic-related arrests, 1 exceptionally cleared case, and 4 unfounded cases. In addition to her assigned workload, Detective Del Sol proactively resolved 2 additional cases from April 2025. Her clearance rate for May was an impressive 81%, reflecting her exceptional efficiency and commitment to case resolution. She investigated a stalking case in which the victim was harassed by her ex-boyfriend. Through a meticulous investigation, she obtained subpoenas, gathered crucial evidence, and among the other notable cases she handled. She investigated a stalking case in which the victim was harassed by her ex-boyfriend. Apparently they have this here twice. And successfully charged the offender with aggravated stalking. In another case, Detective Del Sol secured charges of aggravated battery and 2 counts of electronic threats after the suspect attempted to strike his ex-girlfriend and another male with a vehicle. Working in collaboration with the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office Sexual Crimes Unit, Detective Del Sol cleared 2 sexual assault cases by arrest, further demonstrating her ability to work effectively in multi-agency operations involving sensitive investigations. Additionally, through digital investigative work, she recovered a stolen BMW valued at $150,000, showcasing her ability to recover high-value property and support victims of property crime. Detective Del Sol's consistent performance, high case clearance rate, and exemplary investigative results reflect the highest standards of law enforcement, her work ethic, collaboration with partner agencies, and dedication to justice that make her highly deserving of this recognition.
Thank you. Detective, congratulations. You're recognized.
Sorry, I'll try to make this without crying, but.
Tears are fine.
Good evening, everyone. First, I want to thank my squad. Without your support, guidance, and patience, I wouldn't be the detective that I am today. Each of you has helped shape me, not just professionally, but personally, and I'm truly grateful. To Sergeant Bosch, thank you for always guiding me in the right direction, for teaching me, pushing me, and helping me see my potential, even when I'm overwhelmed, especially at the end of each month when a new active case lands on my desk and I start spiraling about not hitting an 100% clearance rate. Somehow, you always bring me back to reality and remind me what I'm capable of and help me push through. Jackson, thank you for mentoring me when I first got to the unit and for walking me through the job with patience, especially when it came to those monthly worksheets that I will complain about every single time for the rest of my time there. You never gave up on me, which is impressive. And honestly, you've taught me so much, including why I'm truly grateful that I never had a big brother, because one Jackson is more than enough. Jenny, where do I begin? And I know you're watching. Thank you for being my ride or die. From singing in the office, to being an unofficial therapist, to holding it down for the girls' team. You've been the light on so many long days. You've truly become my best friend, and the constant banter between you and Jackson, that's his own sitcom. When both of you are out of the office, the vibe shifts completely. The days feel heavier and the laughter is gone, and everything feels just a little bit off. You both bring life into this unit, and I couldn't imagine it without you. You've all become more than just coworkers. You're my family. This award isn't just mine, it belongs to all of us. I wouldn't trade a single one of you. Chief, thank you for giving me the opportunity to prove myself to you, to the city, and to administration. It means so much to know that the work that I put in is seen, appreciated, and valued. I take great pride in my position, and I'm honored to serve this department every single day. And last but not least, to my family and to my boys. Thank you for loving me through the late nights, the missed holidays, and the call-outs, and the moments when I walk through the door exhausted, but still have more work to do. I know it hasn't always been easy, and I know there are times when you've needed more of me that I could give, but I hope you know how much I carry you with me in everything that I do. Every case I work, every long day that I push through, I do it with you in mind, and I hope I'm showing you what it means to work hard, to be passionate, and to never settle. I hope I'm teaching you that no dream is out of reach, and no matter how hard the road gets. And when the days come that you're chasing something big, something scary and exciting, I hope you remember your mom stood in those shoes too. And I hope you hear my voice in the back of your mind saying, you got this. And because of you, the sky's the limit, and I'll be behind you every step of the way. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
And if I could take one more second of your time, I'm sorry, I did confirm it with our detective sergeant. The national clearance rate is actually about 25%. And as we said, Detective Perdigon finished this month with an 81% clearance rate.
Congratulations.
Correct.
Thank you. Before we let you go, I think I see Detective Sanchez online. Did she want to add something in honor of her colleague? If so, we can unmute her and recognize her.
Oh, I didn't even know that was an option.
Oh, there you
Can
go.
you hear me?
Put you on the spot. There you go.
Jackie, we are so proud of you. You earned this. You are such a hard worker. And I know that all of us admire every single step, every single second of hard work that you put in. You deserve this, and I'm so happy you got it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Detective Sanchez, for joining us. We appreciate it.
you.
Before you go, we'll take a picture with you, invite your family up to take a quick picture as well. And I just want to say congratulations. Thank you for being such a great credit to our department. And by the way, not only are you an exceptional detective, but we could all probably, be well served in hiring you to write speeches for us, because those are beautiful words you gave this evening. Thank you. Come on up for a picture. Okay, Madam Clerk, if you could read item E3, please.
E3, proclamation Garcia Navet Best Chocolatiers in the United States.
So thank you, Madam Clerk. So we're honored this evening to highlight the success of an amazing small business here in South Miami that the USA Today recognized as one of the top 10 best chocolate shops in the U.S., ranking them number 3rd and the only Florida-based store to be acknowledged on the list. So we wanted to invite up Susana Garcia Navet and Isabel Garcia Navet, the owners. My wife is a big fan of your shop. I do not go because I can't even close my suit these days, so it's a very dangerous place to go to. But we just wanted to acknowledge this tremendous achievement and present you with a proclamation, which I'll briefly read into the record. It says, whereas the City of South Miami takes pride in recognizing local businesses that exemplify excellence, creativity, and dedication to their craft, and whereas Garcia Navet Chocolatier de Miami, founded and operated by sisters Susana and Isabel, Garcia Navet has earned national acclaim for its exceptional artisanal chocolates, blending the rich heritage of Venezuelan cacao with innovative techniques and refined artistry, and whereas Garcia Navet has significantly contributed to the cultural and economic fabric of South Miami, and I'm going to skip here, and whereas Garcia Navet Chocolatier de Miami was recognized by USA Today this year as the number 3 on its top 10 best chocolate shops across the U.S. list, and whereas the business has remained committed to sustainable practices, community education through chocolate making workshops, and the promotion of ethical sourcing and fair trade cacao, all while continuing to inspire small business innovation and immigrant entrepreneurship here in South Miami. Therefore, I, Javier Fernandez, Mayor, along with my colleagues of the City Commission, Vice Mayor Brian Corey, Commissioners Lisa Bonich, Steve Kaya, and Danny Rodriguez, are proud to proclaim August 5th, 2025 Garcia Navet Chocolatier de Miami Day. So congratulations.
Thank you.
I'd like to acknowledge you for the record. I'd like to add some words.
We are honored and humbled and so happy to be here. Thank you so much to the mayor and to the city of South Miami for really supporting small businesses. We think you're doing a really great job on social media and just coming around. We feel supported, we feel seen by the city, and that's really great. And next year we're coming for the number 1 spot.
Let's go.
We hope everyone votes next year, but we're very happy. We love the city of South Miami. From the moment we decided to open up our brick and mortar, we focused on South Miami because we know we have that small village feel with the local businesses, small local businesses that feel they've been there forever. We like the cosmopolitan feel as well, and we're just really happy and proud to be here. Thank you so much.
It's a very dangerous corner we got for everyone's waistline between you and the ice cream shop next door. So congratulations again. Who's here with you this evening?
We have family, and we have our lovely ladies from who you might have seen them.
Yes. Why don't you guys all come up so we can
Diana,
present to you all the proclamation and take a picture as a group. Come on up, please. Thank you.
Vente.
Thank you again, and thanks for joining us this evening. Okay, colleagues, we'll take the next 2 presentations, and I believe we've got a discussion item. If you're okay, we'll take that up next, and then we'll move into reports, and hopefully the rest of the business is pretty quick, and we can dispense with the 8 items on the agenda after public remarks. So, Madam Clerk, if you could read item E4, and then we'll take E2.
Okay, and E for Taste of Somi raffle winners.
Thank you. Samantha Mesa, you're recognized.
Good evening, everyone. So I kind of just wanted to bring all the winners in today so you guys can see who you actually picked from Friday's closing party.
Oh, fantastic,
So we
okay.
actually have 2 of the 3 winners here. We're still missing Rice Mediterranean Kitchen, that they said that they're on their way, but we do have the ones that you guys pulled. So for the loyalty card winner, we have Laura Fife, and she was able to shop at 5 different stores in the Somi district during Taste of Somi, and she actually won the prize. So Laura, if you want to join us.
Thank you, Laura, for being such a dedicated customer to South Miami.
You're welcome. You guys have great stores.
Do you, Mayor,
Yeah, please, you're recognized, sir.
do you live in South Miami?
I do not.
How far away do you live?
About 20 minutes.
Oh, okay, good. Good to hear. Thank you.
We'll give this one for you, and then we ask you to wait this one moment if you want to wait your brother's here. We'll take a picture with you as well. All right, the next one was for a week 4 VIP shopper. This is kind of the one we couldn't read, but we were able to figure it out. And that winner is Lillian Silva, and she actually shopped with Sibo French Boutique in week 4 and was their VIP shopper. So
Thank you, Lillian. Good evening.
Thank you, I'm happy. I was lucky. This is fine. And I live in Sunrise Terrace.
Fantastic.
And I live in part of the city.
Great, thank you. I'm glad we were able to figure out your name because we were, I don't know if it was the drinks at the reception or the handwriting, we really couldn't.
I
Or the bad
work
eyesight, that's
in
true, yeah.
Venezuela in radio, and I anchor to the TV.
Qué bien. Gracias por estar aquí.
vamos a tomar un foto rapidito.
Okay.
And then the last winner was Rice Mediterranean Kitchen, but they're not here yet. So once they come, I'll give them their basket.
Okay, well, let's take a quick picture.
All right.
Thank you.
Let's go. Thank you.
Mayor,
You may. Please, you're
I
recognized.
just want to read into the record that I just want to congratulate our marketing team
Yes.
for the great work that you guys did through the month of July and putting this whole event together. And I think it was just fantastic, and I think we closed it out pretty good.
And,
So
and again, I think,
congratulations.
thank you for mentioning that. I think, to Brandon and the team, Sam, our ambassador, everyone, Evelyn, OG Sam, and the manager, thank you for shepherding this process over the last year with, so many second Saturdays culminating in this event to kind of help the business to get through the summer. For a very, very modest investment, we got, I think, was 550,000 new impressions for our local businesses. So we'll continue to invest alongside our local businesses, again, with the idea of helping to promote the district. Hopefully be new people coming to the district, but during that change and transition, we want to make sure that people who are already here helping us put on our best face are thriving. So thank you to all of you.
Thank you.
Tell him he could get in. He could get in there.
Rice just got here. I don't know if you.
Go for it.
So we did a raffle as well for all the businesses who participated, and Rice Mediterranean Kitchen was actually pulled, so they won our business raffle. So Rice, if you would like to come up.
Come on up. No, it's not a problem.
Right on time, actually. Thank you. The mic is yours. Would you like to say anything?
Well, we'll just start by saying thank you for participating and helping us during this promotional event. Hopefully you saw it as valuable, and we look forward to continuing to work with you all to help to push business through the district.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, South Miami City, for helping us so much, and then it was a pleasure for us, be participating on this. And thank you all for the invitation. Thank you.
Thank you for being here this evening. Okay. Yeah, let's do a picture of them as well. Come on. We'll walk around.
You want to redo the one with all of them?
Okay, colleagues, let's open the floor for public remarks.
We have one more presentation.
What do you do?
We have one more.
I'm sorry, yes. Item
E2.
E2, thank you. My apologies.
Yearly red light camera report, Captain Vihil.
Sorry, sir.
Good evening again, Mayor, Commissioners, rest of the city staff. In accordance with Florida State Statute 316.0083, subsection 4B, I would like to present the annual summary of the City of South Miami's red light camera enforcement program for the period of July 1st, 2024 to June 30th, 2025. During this period, a total of 7,474 notices of violation were issued to drivers for red light camera infractions. Of the 7,474, a total of 5,222 violations were paid, resulting in $825,076.00 collected in revenue. Of that amount, 433,426 was remitted to the state of Florida as mandated per the statute, which is an approximately 52.5%. 391,650 was retained by the City of South Miami as net revenue to support public safety initiatives and general fund operations. Out of those, 237 violations were dismissed before becoming UTCs, Uniform Traffic Citations. Approximately 617 violations were classified as disputed. This exact number is not available at this time. Out of those violations, the ones that were either upheld, ones being disputed or dismissed, the reason why they're not available, Vera Mobility, which is our provider, is actually switching over from the legacy system into the Access system. So they were unable to compile those numbers for the annual report. They are working on that, and there will be an update as soon as we receive that. In accordance to the state statute, 1,398 violations were escalated and issued as uniform traffic citations due to non-payment or inaction within the initial period notice. Out of those uniform traffic citations, we received $65,175.43 from Miami-Dade County as payment, as residual payments, I'm sorry. The total operating cost for the City of South Miami for the period mentioned above was $191,755.26, which was allocated to the program's vendor for operational and processing costs. That breaks down to $4,270 per approach or per red light camera. And of course, this program is aimed at public safety and traffic safety. So it continues to support traffic safety efforts in our community by encouraging compliance with traffic signals at the intersections being monitored. That's actually it for the presentation. Thank you for your attention. But if you do have any questions, I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Colleagues, any questions? Okay, Seema, thank you for the report. We appreciate it. Okay, moving on, we will now open the floor for public remarks. If there's any member of the public who'd like to address this commission in public remarks, we do have a sign-in sheet. Please sign at this time. First on my list, and the only person on my list so far this evening, is John Edward Smith. So, sir, you're recognized.
That's what I like to hear, first and only. Thank you. Good evening, John Edward Smith, a resident of business owner here in South Miami. Just have a couple of comments on some of the items that are on the agenda for this evening. One on your consent agenda with the pedestrian bicycle high visibility. education and enforcement fund. I think that's critically important as we go through, and hopefully South Miami will lead the way in more bicycle safety and hopefully bike routes that make sense. The second item is deals with the waiver of fees for Caring for Miami Mobile Pantry. Those of you might know, I am the managing director of the Dr. John T. McDonald Foundation, and one of the organizations that we fund is Caring for Miami. Last year, when Dr. Scott was here and awarded, recognized by the city for the Miami Foundation Award that she had, as she left, I said, Dr. Scott, I know you have the dental clinic from Caring for Miami that goes to the pediatric center. I said, and she had spoken about food insecurity in her remarks. Excuse me. I said, do you know that they have a mobile pantry? Oh, she didn't. The next morning, she got the mobile pantry. She's just a great advocate for everything that goes on wonderfully well at that pediatric center. So I'm pleased. The dental clinic, so you know, is a $785,000 van that services many populations throughout Dade County. The mobile pantry is a retrofitted Miami-Dade County bus. And they make, when they come out, I think you all need to go over and see the kind of work that is being done. And I'm professionally pleased that we're supporting that as well. And then just lastly, Gail Alexander Coachman Street. What more can I say? We'd like to get that done. And just, I regret missing Maria Garcia's retirement party. I saw some of that on video, and it was like, wow, what a great tribute. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, it was cool. I did. I saw it on Instagram. Thank you. Next on the list, we've got Dr. Tina Scott. I didn't need to hear from you. I'm voting yes on your item. So, but if you'd like to come up and say something, I actually do have a question for you, if you can. I was trying to pull up the report. Why don't you share with us what's actually happening so people know? Good evening.
Yeah.
Name and address for the record. I'm sorry.
So, Dr. Tina Carol Scott. You need my home address?
Why don't you give us the address at the clinic?
Okay, 6701 Southwest 58th Place.
Thank
South
you.
Miami.
So we have an item on the agenda to approve waive fees in support of the food pantry. And so I just want, if you could remind us, how many families are you supporting on a monthly basis with that effort?
So I would say that we average on the low end probably 50 families, but we've had as many as 90 some months. And our location, as far as I know, and Mr. Edwards can correct me, we're the only permanent site because they usually travel all over Miami, and I lobbied to have them come every single month, the fourth Thursday of every month, and we've been doing that for over a year.
Okay, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Offline, if we can follow up, I just want to make sure that we talk about Thanksgiving, how we can support those families.
Yeah.
So we've gotten an inquiry about that, and so let's just connect and make sure we have the right amount of
And
packages.
I'll add on too that recently we just got a partnership with Trader Joe's, so the selection that we have on the mobile pantry is even better. So.
Great.
All right.
Thank you for your, yes, sir, you're recognized, Mr. Vice
Yeah.
Mayor.
I just wanted to thank you so much, Dr. Scott. I know on your agility in finding all these opportunities for the city, all the way back to the pandemic. I remember you working on things to make sure people got testing, to food, to everything. You're just such a valuable asset for the city. So I just wanted to thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Okay.
Further questions, comments? Thank you for your remarks. Moving on, Elizabeth Holtz. Good evening, welcome.
Yes, good evening, welcome. Thank you so much, South Miami, for pleasant living, correct? So I'm living, since 2017, I'm living in South Miami, and I moved to a little house and to an area where I first thought, it would have been difficult. But I have to say, all these neighbors, they were very beautiful to me and very nice. So thank you so much first. And I have a question, because I live behind a gate, and the street was, 67th Street was always a little bit problematic, because there was so much trash in the streets. So I often picked up this trash. Now it's definitely better, but where the little moschee is on the left side, and I don't know why, there's so much trash. And it's not, where the new building is. And this street, needs a tiny little bit more attention, I guess. And then I have another question regarding the building you want to do, and I think you wanted to rebuild now, the new building. But I heard from the company that you would do it, 2026 in May. And my neighbor told me, Mrs. Gloria, she told me that there would be no, like little townhouses in front where we are living, that there would be like a high-rise, big high-rise, and I think this would be a little bit for the residents, a little bit more impossible, because then they can look directly, in our yards, and then pleasant living, I think, is not more really good. So I would like to ask you a question, what is going on, and when you will really build. I mean, I called this company, and they told me they would do it, in 2026 in May. I would like to keep living there. It's a house of my son. My son bought this house, and I decided then to move into this house. And I live behind the gate, so I don't have a problem really with the street, but I'm a person, I like beauty, and I think beauty is so important. And I would love, when you keep the street also a little bit nicer.
So thank you for your comments. I think I just Googled your address to make sure I was looking at the right location.
Yeah.
Thank you for one, having an impeccably kept home. Two, the project that is being developed across the street, which was the former public housing site, which is the second phase. The first phase was obviously on the west side. That first phase, we actually, the prior commission was able to review and approve that project. The phase that's happening right across the street from you, unfortunately, through a mapping change, was put under the jurisdiction of Miami-Dade County. So we have not reviewed nor approved the building. We do understand it's going to be a very tall building relative to the area. It'll be 10 or 12 stories. But programmatically, though, we don't have any jurisdiction. We don't have the ability to ask for modifications or approve or deny that project. So the best advice we can give you is to contact your local county commissioner's office and ask them to, pass along any thoughts you have. And to the extent that they have not, thus far, procured a final approval, I'm not sure if they have or have not, that you may be able to impact in a positive way from your perspective what may be built there. But unfortunately,
there's also very close. There's also a school. There is like a little, like a clinic there also.
yeah, the woman who just spoke a second ago was the director of the clinic. So we're approving an item for the clinic later this evening. But
yeah, it would be nice when this is also, all done like a little bit nicer. The school is really very, very nice now. And I think, sometimes it's also important maybe to teach children, to teach them, because we have only one planet where we live all on. We all live on Mother Earth, and we don't throw any garbage, to our Mother Earth. So we have to maybe, again, the schools have maybe to teach them when they get not taught, at the house, to throw everything inside. I had once in front of my house, I called the company, they had to take the plastic out. And there were minimum there for 4 or 5 hours to take the plastic out, because when this plastic would not be taken out and it would rain a lot, then everything would be there underwater. So this is also a problem then. But I thank you so much for listening, and I wish you all the best.
no, thank you for coming. And again, if you need some service in terms of trash pickup,
Thank you.
if you've not downloaded our SoMe Connect app,
Thank you.
please do that. You can report it, and you'll see that our Public Works team responds. Mr. Munoz's team here responds very quickly to all of those requests and gets them cleaned up, okay?
Thank you very, very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming out this evening. Madam Clerk, is there anyone else registered for public remarks?
No, but James McCants would like to speak.
Mr. McCants, I see your name online. If you'd like to speak, let's unmute him now and recognize him.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, sir.
I just wanted to speak in support of a couple of items. The first one is Caring for Miami. Dr. Scott has done so much work, and she's worked with me in getting these families out. And let me tell you, the food is magnificent, and it serves the three major complexes in the Marshall Williamson area. That's SOMI, that's Marshall Williamson's apartments, and then Red Road Commons apartment. And the food is really quality food, and the work she has done is really a lot, and she deserves all her kudos and credit. That's the first thing. The next thing is item 6, and I know everybody's going to support that. This is Gail, and the name of the street. And I have a concern in reference to the Unity Wall, in reference to what Gail started and what we started a long time ago. And that is the trees that are being planted by the county. They're blocking some of the artwork. And I did speak to the Public Works Director on this a couple of weeks ago. But in the meantime, more trees have been planted. Could we look into that and see how we can hold that up so that we can help preserve that wall and the future artwork that is coming? Okay? The last thing I want to talk about are the 3 items that, in reference to the Gibson Bethel Community Center, past due, and I'm so grateful that this is on the agenda. So that we can help preserve this site. I know that there's potential things that may be coming to enlarge this center, but in the meantime, helping to preserve this is very well received. And just for the record, I remember the groundbreaking for the Gibson Bethel, and that was in 2001. And I ran across some pictures on that event. So that right there is all I have to say. One more thing. Commissioner, Miami-Dade County Commissioner Regalado has given Rebuilding Together in District 7 monies for single-family home rehabs. And we're gonna bring something to the table in like a setting there later on, and I'll be happy to talk to more people about this with the Commissioner's office there. So that's all the comments I have, and everybody have a good evening.
Thank you. Commissioner Rodriguez, you're going to be recognized.
James, thank you. So after we spoke this afternoon, I got with Director Munoz regarding the trees. As far as he knows, there will be no more trees planted, but he's going to confirm with the county.
And James, just by way of commentary as well, on the Rebuilding Together grants, I don't know if we have a mechanism for waiving the building permit fees for homes of the recipients of that grant funding, but maybe that's something that we can consider so that the maximum amount of dollars gets put into the physical plan of those homes as opposed to paying us marginal permitting fees. So just by way of direction, unless there's some opposition from the council, if we could confirm whether that's a possibility. If not, let's make sure we bring an item to allow for such a waiver, okay, upon request. Thank you. Thank you again, James, for all your work on our behalf. Madam Clerk, is there anyone else online who'd like to address this commission?
Anyone else on Zoom, please raise your virtual hand, and if you'd like to speak during public remarks.
Okay, seeing no one else online and no one else in this chamber, we will close public remarks. Mr. Manager, your report, please.
Yes, sir. Our deputy manager going to provide, Mr. Mayor, I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Oh, Ms. Francis wanted to speak? Okay, well, hold that for 1 second. Madam Clerk, if you can unmute Ms. Francis. Ms. Francis, you're recognized.
Hi, I'm LaTanya Francis. I reside actually in Miami Gardens, but I work with FIU with Neighborhood Help. And we work directly closely with Dr. Scott and the Caring for Miami bus with Joseph and his team. And I can say, I just wanted to speak in and say that Dr. Scott she has been working very, very diligently, very, very hard. And the bus benefits, not only does it benefit South Miami, it does benefit those that are in very close proximity to South Miami as well. They're doing a great work. You have those that are not able to purchase groceries on a regular basis, where they rely on that bus to come out and get their weekly food and their weekly meals. So I just want to commend Dr. Scott on doing what she does, and ask that you guys, continue with the resolution as far as with the parking and everything, and making sure that it pans out the way it should. And we appreciate you allowing us to have that bus out there, because like I said, the households that we manage look to Dr. Scott, as well as the additional pillars that's in the neighborhood, to continue to bring forth the services that they do.
Thank you for your comments, and we're happy to support Dr. Scott and the mobile pantry. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Okay, with that, we'll close public remarks, and we'll recognize our deputy manager for the manager's report. Thank you.
Mayor, as the deputy is stepping up, something for your consideration, discuss the potential on commission meeting. We have a September 2nd commission meeting. We can't have a budget hearing any earlier than September 3rd, so we also have that date, and wanted to see if there was an interest in making the commission meeting of the 2nd into the 3rd, and it'll combine budget hearing and commission meeting instead of having.
Colleagues, any objection to moving our commission meeting from the 2nd to the 3rd, so we have it on the same day as our budget hearing? None? Okay, so let's go ahead and make that so. Okay, Madam Clerk, I'm sorry, Madam Deputy Manager.
Thank
You're
you, Mayor.
recognized.
As it relates to the Parks and Rec Master Plan study, the community survey received a total of 232 responses as of July 30th. That survey is going to be open until the end of this month, and it's available online, so if anybody hasn't filled it out, take 18, 20 minutes of your time, fill it out. The first community workshop will take place right here in Commission Chambers. That's going to be Tuesday, August 26th at 6:30 p.m. We have Grey Ghost Tackle Football and Cheer season. They kick off with their first home game at Palmer Park, August 15th and 16th. And for Taste of SoMe, we're working on consolidating the survey responses, but I can share that 100% of the respondents said that they would participate again next year. We had attendees coming from City of Miami, Coral Gables, Miami Beach. There were respondents that indicated that they discovered new businesses through this initiative, so I think it was a really strong effort for year one. We're looking forward to upcoming years, and stay tuned for our next event, which is a scavenger hunt close to the end of this month featuring our businesses. That's the end of the manager's report.
Thank you. Colleagues, any questions of the manager? Okay, seeing none, thank you for the report. We'll move on briefly to the city attorney's report.
Just a very brief comment, Mayor. The SB 180, which is an emergency operations bill geared at addressing hurricane emergencies and other natural disasters, was adopted this past legislative session. It includes some very challenging language for municipalities to deal with. There are a number of municipalities who are gathering together to challenge that language. Is this something that you would be interested in hearing about more? In which case I can bring something at the next agenda, but I just want direction, whether you don't want to hear about it or if you'd like to know more.
Do we have, I think we should have a discussion item. Beyond
Okay.
that, I'm not sure. Colleagues? Okay? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Along those lines, we also had legislation that modified the plating process
Yes.
and made it
Yes.
administrative. So do we have to make any modifications to our code to conform with those changes, or?
There is an exception in that legislation which does not require the changes when it's inconsistent with a charter county and their ordinance. And the way we're interpreting that would, the county ordinance provides the minimum requirements for adoption of a plat. And that includes a public hearing. And the cities, the incorporated areas, are charged with enforcing the county requirements. So we think that's a potential inconsistency with what the statute requires. Statute does not apply to counties, and it may enable us to keep what we have on the books.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is the county taken, so the county's position is it does not affect?
The
their-
county has not taken an official position
Okay.
on this. As to the county, they have taken the position that that statute does not affect them at all. And that's clear. This only applies to cities. It does not apply to the county, to the county's regulations. It includes this additional exception. We're still talking through with how they're going to view that as far as the cities, but up to now, that's an open matter.
I know that BASF, Builders Association of Florida, has sent correspondence to various jurisdictions asking for clarification on their process. I'm assuming we haven't received any
We have
correspondence.
not to my knowledge.
And can you just, I think at your next meeting, just kind of maybe give us an update as to what the state of affairs is with other
Absolutely.
jurisdictions?
Will do.
Okay, basically, colleagues, what the statute attempts to do is not require a public hearing. Typically, the final public hearing before this body is usually ministerial.
Correct.
And so if all the requirements are met, there really is no, we really don't have the discretion to deny a plat. So it's a formality that adds, I would say, a lot of time to the processing of those applications. So personally, if we have the deference to modify our process, I would certainly be on the side of modifying it and designating a local official who could approve those final plats. So
Yeah, our concern, just from a time perspective.
Yes.
Is it's easier to get in front of this body than it is to get in front of the county commission, and if the county is going to take the position that a county.
The public hearing
that a
has to
public
be
hearing is
heard. No,
required anyway.
Mr. Rescue, I'm 100% in agreement with that. If there has to be a public hearing, I'd rather be here than at the county. But if the county is agnostic to the issue, then I'd be happy to make that a fully administrative process. Okay. Thank you for the update. Okay. That is the last report. Let's move on to discussion items. Mr. City Manager, do you want to lead us into this one?
Yes, sir. Mayor, I brought this item forward for a presentation and discussion on something that we've been working on with a partner who's had an interest in bringing a new amenity to South Miami, and it's the sport of paddle and padel courts. We've been looking at sites that may be able to accommodate this activity, and so after working for quite some time, given some limitations from a real estate standpoint, we had enough to bring forward to you based on a proposal that they had provided and some work that we had done with the Parks Department. So the presentation will be shared by them, and you have something that's in your packet. The concept would be an amenity that we currently don't provide in our city, increasing our offerings from the standpoint of a racket sport, if you will, through a public-private partnership. And I certainly would let the team of Mr. Jeff Garcia and Bernardo and Renato Van Vergo, who have a previous experience in this space, take you through the presentation. And this has been in partnership with the Parks Department and myself, working for quite a while, taking a look at the right location and how it would look like as far as delivering this offering, which would be managed by them. I will tell you that some of the information, primarily financial, is not necessarily totally finalized. We would, based on your direction and interest, if you direct us to move forward, conclude that conversation on how it would look like from a financial model standpoint, and then identify the vehicle to bring it back to commission for formal action as well. So I think based on your direction, we would then revisit what has been proposed, make any tweaks necessary if that's the direction that we're given, and then bring back a final item for your consideration and vote. So certainly, Jeff, maybe I'm not sure who's going to kick it off on your side. I think you had told me you would. I'll turn it over to you to kind of take us through your team and concept and what you would bring to the city.
Well, thank you, Manager, and good evening.
You get into the microphone, please. Thank you.
Jeffrey Garcia. Thank you, Manager, and thank you, Mayor and Commissioners, for giving us this opportunity to go through this presentation. We'll try and keep it brief. I know we're trying to keep this meeting as short as possible. Just before we start, I just want to thank the manager and Quentin and others. We've tried to be as thorough and thoughtful in this process as possible. We looked at pretty much every piece of land that the city either owns or manages, and we've done surveys of various different locations and projects, and we've even taken the time to survey some of the users of your parks. And some of you may have heard that there were folks walking around with clipboards in Fuchs Park for 4 days in March, And we actually surveyed the users of the park. We actually spoke and surveyed 203 of the users. And I have the data available for anyone who would like to see it, because there's some interesting nuggets in there about some of the other uses of the park, who's using it. About 60% of those who answered are actually South Miami residents, which I thought was a little surprising, being that it's right on the border of the city. But we also wanted to talk to them about amenities and which amenities they would be interested in. Over 70% of those that answered said they were open or excited about having padel courts at the park. About 3% said they were not, which, I also was pleasantly surprised that was a low number. So I just want everyone to know that we've taken the time to be, very thoughtful and trying to find the best fit where there's benefit for the city, there's benefit for the residents, and we can add this amenity. And with that being said, I want to introduce my friend and client, and Renato will walk you through this brief presentation that's you can see up on the screens now.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Renato Van Vegel with Van Vegel Ventures LLC. I'm a manager and partner, and in the room is also my brother, who's also my partner. So Van Vegel Ventures LLC, essentially, we focus a lot on sports and hospitality concepts. Our main business operation has actually been in Europe, and we're currently in the process of expanding some of our business over to the United States. As you can see here, we have a small presentation, which I think you all have in front of you, with South Miami Paddle Center and a proposed project. So here's the team, as I've just introduced you to folks, and we can see over there to the left is Elias Nunez Villaverde, who would be a manager, and he's actually a manager at some of our other locations and other projects. He's not present today in this meeting. So a little bit about us and our track record. We have operated several sports concepts and hospitality concepts in Portugal over the years. We currently operate over 40 youth tennis academies in Portugal, over 80 youth soccer academies in Portugal. We've operated paddle, racket, sports-oriented health facilities, particularly with pickleball, tennis, paddle, fitness, and the whole food and beverage component as well. And then we're also in the process of expanding some of those operations to the US. We also own and operate the biggest tennis tournament in Portugal, called the ATP 250 Millennium Estoril Open. And that operation has been ongoing for a few years now. We're in the process of expanding over the last year. We have our first facility opening up in Miami downtown, in the downtown area. It's going to be 10 outdoor courts with a concession stand for food and beverage. Pretty cool project. And we're also opening up a location in Austin, Texas, which will be 6 indoor courts and 3 outdoor courts with a whole restaurant and food and beverage component. So that's a little bit about our track record in the sports and hospitality area. And I wanted to show you guys a little bit of what our proposal consists of. So it would be a revenue-generating facility for the city. It would cost the city absolutely nothing. It would be fully financed by our group. And essentially, the idea would be for us to build 5 paddle courts, a pretty low-impact, small project, but we think it'd be a huge success in the city. So let's go on to the next slide and look at a proposed site plan. Who designed the site plan is actually S3 Design, which is they're a firm that's done a lot of work in universities all over South Florida. They do a lot of sports concepts. And over here we can see 5 paddle courts with a tree mitigation plan where we don't touch the oak trees, pretty low impact for the park, and we actually have the idea of moving the existing playground to that corner that you see over there in a darker color. We'd be willing to obviously inquire that cost and essentially make it so this wouldn't cost the city $1.
One point I wanted to make about this rendering that you, sorry.
Thank you.
One
The
point I
microphone.
wanted to make about the rendering that you see is, there are there's some flexibility here and there's some things that need to be worked out. But if you look at the existing Chamber South building, there's a portion of the building that juts out on the south side towards the walkway. And we've all been in the building, we're familiar with it. We've been in discussions with Chamber South about utilizing that little section that juts out, which is currently an office. It's roughly about 150, 180 square feet. That would be a check-in center. If you're familiar with that building, what used to be just west of that, in that kind of L shape there used to be a patio and a deck that has since been abandoned and it's rotten now. And there's a bunch of weeds in there, but forms a natural bluff. And our proposal in an ideal situation would be to clean that up, to renovate that, to put a new deck, and to put some outdoor seating so that park goers, residents, anyone could sit outside, sit there. It kind of actually looks over the park a little. It's a few feet higher, and beautify that corner. And you know, if you've been to that building, it's in kind of desperate need of some beautification, particularly on that side. There's a lot of weeds. If we cannot secure that, what we will have to do then is have a small kiosk, no larger than 100 square feet, to check clients in, and we would put. Oh, you can see right there. Oh, there's the kiosk. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Okay. You can see that small box in between the first and second courts on the north side. But hopefully, again, like we said, in an ideal world, we'll come to an agreement with the Chamber South if things progress forward, and we'll be able to not just have a check-in center inside the existing building, but also beautify that area and that space and recapture some space for public usage.
All right. So regarding, here are just some renderings just to get a rough idea of what it could look like. Obviously, very open to discuss the design and everything. This is just some, what we thought were some, potential conceptual renderings. Then regarding financials, we actually put together a pretty, what I would consider a strong financial plan for the city, and also a P&L based on our past experience, and also doing some market research on clubs in the area. Even though there's no club, very directly close to South Miami, there is some stuff over in downtown, and this is all based on market prices. We can see, I don't know, it might be a little small for people to see it from here, but we're practicing just below market price for non-residents, so we're still offering a good price. And the residents of the city of South Miami would essentially get a discounted price, which would be equivalent of basically being a member of the club just by proving they're residents of South Miami. So we want to make sure that obviously. Mayor has a question.
No, so, yeah, Mr. Van Vagel, just a quick question. Just in terms of what you're representing here, you're showing, I guess, the number of hours that each court is utilized, which is 5. Is that correct?
No, so you can see on, it's a little far for me to see it from here.
Yeah.
But, it's first year is 3,
First
I
year.
believe, second, 4. What was it? Okay.
So first year is 5. Each year is 5 courts, is what you're showing?
Yes.
And then the typical utilization is 3 hours a day for the first year?
Oh, yeah. So
And it grows over time. I just want to understand how you're
five courts, which is the amount of courts.
Okay.
As you can see, I don't know if it shows it here. That's far from you. 300 days is the amount of days that we believe will be operating, considering factors like rain, holidays, whatever.
Correct. Okay.
And then we can see over there.
And your rate is hourly divided among 4 players, or?
It's an hourly rate per player.
Per player?
Yes.
Per court? Per court.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then we have the 60 minutes there, and then a 90-minute price, which is slightly lower because they're booking it for a longer period of time. Correct.
Yes.
And obviously, these are preliminary numbers. Like, we're open to discuss these numbers,
Okay.
but.
I believe Commissioner Kai, you had a question on the slide?
Thank you, I appreciate it. Can you identify what P1 through P10 means? What does that
Those
mean?
are the years, that would be through the life of the operation.
So this is year 1, year 2,
Year 1,
all the way
yes,
through
yeah.
year 10?
Yes. And as you can see, it kind of grows incrementally.
Thank you.
And like these numbers, like a lot of the paddle information for services like this in general are all done through apps. So if you go and check an existing club, you can see, for example, the amount of bookings they have, for example, on an afternoon. You can see if they're booked, in 2 days from now, because you won't be able to get a court. So you get a really rough and good estimate on occupancy based on just doing market research from what's around here. And then here is just a representation.
Before you move on to the financials, question, what do you expect to be kind of your natural trade area for these 5 courts? Where are your clients going to come from for the facility?
We believe that, I actually did a study on this. I can show it and just discuss it briefly. So regarding our occupancy, we do believe that around, where is it? Here it is. We believe that 30 to 40% of people using the club will be South Miami residents. We actually do believe that a majority will be people coming from, let's say, Coral Gables, Coconut Grove, and from the areas right around here, Pinecrest, because as we know, we're in a small strip of area here, and there's really nothing around for those people to go play. So a lot of those people might work, let's say in downtown, they play in downtown, but here they have an opportunity to, they pay market price, which would mean more revenue for the city, but essentially they would have something nearby here where they might live in the area here.
The next, and I think this is part of what you're asking, the majority of the courts right now are downtown or Miami Beach, Wynwood. The next closest facility that will be built is on 42nd and Flagler. And that's under construction right now. And that's still a bit of a ways away, in terms of, access and availability. And so as we've seen, the majority of these courts are very much further, east. And so there's still, this market, this area within, a 10-mile radius is still ripe and in need of an amenity like this.
Great. Yes, Commissioner Rodriguez, you're recognized.
I just have a quick question. So for the first year, you're saying that the courts will be open for 3 hours?
No, utilized.
Utilized.
Yeah, and that's pretty conservative in my opinion. It's 3 shifts, so a shift's essentially 90 minutes, so a booking block. Sometimes people book for 60 minutes, but that's usually more like a lesson. If someone takes a lesson, they'll do a 60-minute lesson. If a group of 4 individuals will get together and play, usually they're playing for 90 minutes.
So we wanted,
What time to
we
what
want to be
time?
conservative in the growth, especially at the outset in the first 2 years. And so we used a more conservative model. Obviously, though, if the revenues are higher, if there's more usage, the city, which is the next chart, the city, we're proposing a 10% revenue share. So, and this all will be fully transparent, and if the growth is better, then the usage will be higher and the revenue will be higher.
What would be the operational hours? Just curious to know.
So just to give you an idea, we're very flexible here, given that it's also a city park. We understand that it might be conditioned to that. Just to give you an idea, a club usually operates from 7 to 8 a.m. until 11 p.m. But then again, we're pretty flexible here. We're willing to work with, just to give an idea, usually the busy blocks are morning and then obviously after 5 p.m., which is when people get off work for the most part. And then obviously during the day you have a block where it's a little slower also because of the heat and everything. But in an ideal scenario, if we can go until let's say 10 or 11 at night, that's great. But usually things start slowing down by 9 p.m., which is when people...
We made this model under the assumption of 9 p.m.
Okay.
Knowing that since there's residents in the area, it needs to be, limited. So we made the assumptions assuming 9 p.m.
And to the manager, just on that point, when do we close down the facility at Dante Fasol for racket sports? Is it 9 p.m. as well?
I don't remember. What's the latest, Quinto?
Okay, so I think probably that's a good barometer for us to kind of
Sure.
use.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So on this, we'll go into the next one here.
Next one, okay.
No, the last.
All right. So here we can just see, like, based on our, revenue, it gives us a rough idea of what the city, would get in revenues. So it's a guaranteed minimum payment of $36,000, and then a 10% revenue split. So regardless of what happens, the city gets a guaranteed payment, and then obviously the more revenue, the more the city makes, year after at the end of the period.
And obviously, the 36 is based on a $3,000 monthly, and this is fairly typical in P3 type of models where you have a split revenue, you have a guarantee plus a revenue split, a fairly common practice.
Is this just to understand, again, just for the benefit of the record, I'm assuming all the capital costs associated with building the facility are borne by you all?
Yeah, from our end. Exactly.
Okay, and then in terms of the payment of the revenue split of 10%, does that happen every month? Or what would you propose in terms of a period, or you're open?
We're open. We can do
Okay.
every month. We can do we can work around that.
That's fine, okay.
Any other questions on this slide, or can I move on to the next one?
Let's go ahead.
One comment about this is, recently in Miami Beach, just about 2 weeks ago, they negotiated courts on Lincoln Road. And once seeing what they negotiated, I think this proposal is more than fair. They're proposing 15 courts on Lincoln Road, and the city will be compensated $200,000 a year for 15 courts on Lincoln Road, which is a rather high rent district. And so I think this is very competitive in comparison to that deal that was done, and the only one of its kind so far in Miami.
Yes, Mr. Vice Mayor.
Sales on that slide, that was associated with like equipment and beverages?
Yeah, very
that would be sold?
conservative because we don't know, really if we're gonna have the size of the concession stand and everything. We're talking about balls, rental of rackets, you know, just simple stuff like that. We're not really accounting for too much food and beverage, maybe waters and very simple stuff, but that stuff we didn't want to overcomplicate since we don't know what route this is going to go yet. So we wanted to keep it just based on the operation for the sport.
Okay, great. And the model you mentioned, is that a guaranteed amount, or is that also a revenue split, Mr. Garcia?
No, theirs is guaranteed.
Okay, thank you. Okay. They're proposing $3,000 base rent with, 10% of gross revenues? So whichever's greater, right?
No, in addition to.
In addition, okay, in addition, so three, okay. Okay, no,
So
that's, I know.
there's the guaranteed, which is regardless of what happens, and then
Okay.
the rest. Right?
Understood, so thank you for the clarification. And he was just mentioning that the beach by comparison is getting $200,000 of guaranteed rent. Is there any upside on that, or is it just the fixed number?
It's a 200,000 guarantee, but it's 15 courts.
No, understood,
Yeah,
I'm just asking,
yeah.
but is there any, are they
No,
also
no,
getting?
and it's not done yet. They announced it, and now I think they're going to vote on it in a couple of weeks, so it may change.
Okay.
And so I'll keep my eye on it, but that was what they're proffering to the commission.
Okay, understood, thank you. Let's move on to the next slide.
Oh, that was the one.
So one last point before we wrap this up is, look, there would have to be some tree removal. There would have to be some tree removal. Fortunately, so through some creative use of positioning the courts, there will not be removal of any oaks. So no oaks will be touched. And any trees that have to be removed, we're fully committed to go above and beyond tree mitigation. That's any tree mitigation that's necessary, and go beyond it. If we have to remove 7 in consultation with parks and with whoever the arborist is, we'd be more than happy to go above and beyond in terms of mitigating any tree loss. But no oaks will have to be touched in this process. We also put into the proposal, if you noticed, we put a placeholder there of $25,000 for the tot lot to be moved, the playground, which, by the way, from our surveying and from everything we found out, that is the most utilized piece of the park. And it is something that definitely needs to be taken care of and even made better. There's an opportunity to freshen it up and make it better. And we put a $25,000 capital investment into doing that. Again, that is also negotiable. We're not entirely sure what the scope of the new tot lot you all had envisioned or what that could cost.
Okay, colleagues, let's just get some feedback. We'll go left to right. Mr. Vice Mayor, want to take us off?
Absolutely. I was just curious, let's say the courts are packed and there's people waiting. What's the maximum number of people you'd estimate if everything was full were there?
Yeah, we're thinking around 20 to 25 people in max occupancy.
And the current parking at that park is?
So the current parking could sustain it. And then there's one of the things we've also talked about is there is access on the swale as well that never really gets utilized because the park never really gets that busy. The most traffic we saw was on a weekend day. There were 58 people that visited the park, so it's never really had that issue.
58 people total over the course of the period.
58 people total
Okay.
throughout the entire day.
Okay.
So that park actually doesn't get packed. The upside is that would probably be in the evening and in the weekend when there's zero traffic at the Chamber South. So that frees up an additional number of spaces. What we guesstimate is max capacity is 20, because that's all the courts hold. And people they reserve the time, it's all done online. So 20 people, let's say a couple of other folks come along to watch, we're talking about 15, 18 parking spaces, and the park has that capacity.
Okay.
Particularly weekends and evenings, which would be the busiest times.
Further questions or comments?
Not right now.
Okay. Commissioner Rodriguez.
Basically, for me, I think this is a great addition to our city. Like you said, down south in this direction, we don't really have anything like this. I know it's a growing sport. I just started playing it, so I'm good with this project. I think it's going to be great for the residents, both South Miami residents and even county residents that live around the area. As far as the playground for the kids, you said you had allocated 25,000. Personally, I don't know how if that's matches or what it does. So I guess as long as Quinton is good with that, and I'm good with it. So he's the expert when it comes to that, so.
And we're flexible with that number, obviously. We can work, depending on the price, we can make it work.
Thank you. Commissioner Kaye.
Yeah, so the playground's a must, and so the allocation of dollars needs to be discussed, and I'm sure it's gonna be way more than 25,000. But I'm sure that's something we'll work through. Lights, the allocation of lights, you guys are going at 9 o'clock, so I'm assuming we're gonna put light systems in
Yes.
place? Is there, go ahead.
So, yes, I actually have a kind of a rough idea of, because of our facility in the downtown area, we did a light spillover as well as like noise mitigation strategy. So lights, we have all the specs for the lights that are on the courts. They come on the prefabricated with the courts, and there's very little spillage. They're just directing towards the courts. Now, obviously, there will be lights on the paths and, wherever it will be needed from like a life safety perspective and all that stuff. But we're based on like our other facility, our architect that has done several of these types of projects will be able to determine exactly what is needed with like lights, whether it's on pathways, courts, etc.
I think my concern with the lights is not necessarily you're gonna have lights. I think you'll be fine with lights. It's the actually receiving power in that specific area. It might be a little bit of a challenge, right? We have a power that we lit up lights around the lake. We had to construct a whole new system in that place, and it's a little far away from that location. So you might have to dig, you might have to get some stuff in there, so just make sure we understand what the mitigation is there.
Sure.
Parking, I do think parking might be a little bit of an issue. You guys allocated 25 spots. I know for sure on the weekends, when we do the gazebo rentals, we have endless amount of cars there when we have some parties. My kids have had parties there, and we had 40 cars there one time, so I know it could get really, really packed. So just have a plan B on what we can do from a parking perspective.
I think, and you're right about that, and I failed to mention that when the gazebo, sometimes it's 8 people having a lunch, and sometimes it's a birthday party that gets wild and there's 50 people.
I always get wild.
One of the things that Quentin, myself, and the manager looked at though was, there's very large boulders that surround the east side of the park, and then there is a large swale, and so that swale, it's never been accessed before, but it could be accessed, and that's facing the canal on the east side. There's a very deep swale on the other side of the boulders, and that could be accessed too.
No, I'm just saying, we just need to look into it.
No, you got to think about it. Yeah.
What's the allocation that you guys are proposing to build there? Like, what is the total square footage? With the 5 courts, with the
It's
concession stand?
roughly it's 11,000. Yeah. Square feet.
That's it?
Yep. Because each court is roughly about 2,100.
Plus you have the concession stand, you have the green space in
The
between.
concession span, if it was just a kiosk,
Just let's find out what that actual number is. I just want to understand.
You want the full footprint
The
of the
whole
facility.
footprint.
Yeah,
Perfect.
not just the actual
not
improvement.
just the courts.
Yeah, I want the
Yes.
whole footprint of
Okay.
what your facility is going to do.
I'll get you that. And we actually got a survey done.
Yeah.
I don't know if we gave them this survey.
Under the courts and under the kiosk, it's just under 11,000. But if you want the larger, kind of the green spaces in between,
If
we
you
let-
would,
Yeah, if you just take the perimeter of the facility and find out what the total square footage is.
Exactly, thank you.
Okay, no
Appreciate it. Tree mitigation is really important. So we just need to make sure we understand what the mitigation is on trees. Right now, we have an allocation of canopy issues that we're trying to allocate more and more trees. We have an issue with canopy, and this is a big park for us for canopy, so just make sure we
We
understand
did a
that.
tree survey. We paid for a tree survey to identify the species. I believe we shared it with the city.
No, I saw it, it's in the plan there. It said you had
okay.
fig, you had 9 different
Yep.
species. I saw it, I can't envision it, so
Okay.
I wanted to understand that. And something for us, look, I'm a big fan of the sport as well, and I just recently started playing it as well. I think it's a good addition. It's just not at the detriment of our community. We just want to make sure we work and play together. So the playground is a must. It's 100% a must. I was already getting text messages while you were speaking about you can't let go of the park, right? So let's make sure we focus on that because that's a big deal. And, of course, always work with our neighbors and make sure that we're all on the same page.
And we agree with you. Just what the number one thing we learned from doing the survey and observing the park is that the playground is a must. Yeah, we learned that.
I don't want to speak ahead of turn, but the idea, we do have some revenue coming in to the city that we can maybe allocate to that park and make sure that that is a major entrance from the south to our city. So if we can use some of these funds moving forward in a recurring way with parks and figure out what we can do to beautify our entrance on the south side even further, that we can use some of these funds moving, looking forward. Thank you.
Thank you for the comments, colleagues.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Just a couple quick thoughts, and I'll turn it over. We've discussed this. Obviously, we expect this to be, I've had the privilege of representing clients that operate paddle facilities, most recently permanent one in Boca Raton. So I know what the demand for the sport is. It's crazy, and Miami and Austin are the two leading markets in the U.S. for the development of facilities. And I think even though we probably have more facilities than any other city in the U.S., we're still trailing demand by a significant margin. I think in the southern end of the county, to your point, it's more acute. So I do see a huge opportunity here for this to be successful. Saying all of that, we've always got to be concerned about the worst case scenario. So I do want to make sure that you model into your numbers cost for a letter of credit or restoration bond, so that if, in year 3, you decide this facility is no longer financially viable, we have the ability to kind of restore the park to quote unquote a natural condition. So again, one thing I want us to plan around. I do think we'd be wise to adhere to the hours that we have with Dante. Obviously, play doesn't end promptly at 9 o'clock. Lights stay on a little bit longer, spills over half an hour, but that makes sure that since we are adjacent to a single-family neighborhood, some of which is not, or all of which is not in the city, we do want to be respectful of those neighbors. With respect to the aesthetic, I think this looks very nice. I would tell you, I would prefer to see less, just the image that's in front of us, as you visualize this, more landscaping and less screening devices with signage or visual elements that just lushly landscape the edges and provide some windows into the courts to kind of animate some interest. But I think particularly on the southern edge, near the neighbors, if we can reduce the potential for parking and pick up opportunities for parking in the swale on the north and on the eastern edge of the park, that would be my preference. And let's kind of heavily landscape, or think about in your site plan revision, heavily landscaping that southern edge so we kind of create a natural buffer for the single-family residents to the south. The tot lot, $25,000, I appreciate the offer. It's going to have to be substantially more than that. I think maybe we should think about some sort of an interactive sculptural piece here that's a little bit non-traditional, that maybe pays homage to the racket sport, that kind of is a climbing apparatus or something that relates to the theme of what we're doing, but is something unique in terms of the aesthetic. So let's try to be a little bit creative there. I mean, Quentin and I were gifted a book by a developer locally with some pretty interesting apparatus, and to the extent that we want to invest some of the revenue back into, a really spiffy tot lot, I think that would be a good investment. On the parking, I think just knowing the demand for these facilities peaks mornings and evenings, and obviously the middle of the day is a big lull. I think there's some opportunities to leverage some existing parking from neighboring properties, and maybe we can work with you to enhance the crossings across 80th Street. I'm thinking specifically on the weekends, the mall where the Ace Hardware is. That's got a significant parking apron right across from the park. They close fairly early on the weekend days. There may be an opportunity for you guys to lease parking from them as a way to have some spillover or overflow parking. The same with the CVS. I go to the CVS all the time. That parking lot is always empty.
Right.
So there may be an opportunity for you to lease some spaces there and direct patrons to park there and avoid having impacts on the neighborhood to the south. I throw it out there just as suggestions to think about. Let's work on a solid operational plan in addition to solid financials. I appreciate the thoughtfulness of the proposal. I think on balance, this would be a really good fit if we address these points, and look forward to working with you and our team here to hopefully maybe finalize an agreement and get a facility built.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Sorry, one quick last thing. I think the mayor just came up with a very good idea as far as the parking with where the Ace is. I will tell you, I know it sounds funny, but in the swale along the canal, there is a fairly big crocodile that inhabits that waterway and walks on that street. So keep that in mind, because if you do have patrons there and that croc is walking.
I've been told. I haven't seen him, but I've been told by people who have seen him.
I got pictures. I've had residents call me, send me pictures. I've forwarded to the manager. It's big.
He's very friendly.
Yeah, yeah. So no, but
he
keep
smiles
that,
a lot, so
keep
he's
that in
a lot to
mind.
eat.
He most of the pictures are at night, so
Yeah.
just keep that in mind. Any environmental,
Yeah.
They're protected, so I don't know if there's any effects to that.
Yeah.
So, and again, you don't want someone walking in and all of a sudden there's a
Giant croc.
giant croc walking down
Yeah.
the street.
No, that's a very good point. And Mr. Mayor, on the restoration, we're fully committed to that. If something should happen, even if it's something, extraordinary. There was also another suggestion too, or an idea, which was, if something did happen, would we be willing to, and I'll explain this, leave behind a court or two at no cost to the city, right? And that is also something, that could be one way to kind of enhance the proposal. Just so you know, the courts come pre-built, and they're actually sit on hydraulics that level them out. And so there is no need to put a big concrete foundation anymore. And so that's welcome, right? Because that's an option, right? You can be out of there in 30 days. And so, and resod the area or replant it. And so, there's some pretty unique things, but
That's all exciting and good news, and I think, I just want to make sure we're in a position to, should you all have to walk away, which happens in business,
Absolutely.
we're in a position to act on our own, and we can make a determination to keep some or, remove all of them
and
as
a bond would
necessary.
be appropriate, in
Yeah.
that instance.
Yeah. So, again, gosh, you triggered one other thought with a comment, which I've not forgotten.
Crocodile.
No, not the crocodile, not the crocodile. Oh, just having experienced the sport as well and played it indoors, as I get older, it's a lot more comfortable to do that. I do think here in terms of the success of the courts, I would just encourage you to become familiar with what's happening or not happening at Tropical Park. There's a very passionate pickle crowd that plays there, but I think there's some padel courts and they're not having a whole lot of success from what I can tell. I would say that part of that is that it's really, really hot to play there, particularly even in the mornings or early in the evenings. And so to the extent that you can incorporate, it looked like one of your images had the courts maybe covered or partially covered with,
We're fully open to that idea.
yeah, I think it might be, I think it probably would behoove the operation long-term in terms of its success.
If the city was willing, we'd even be willing to cover as many courts as you allowed. If the city was willing to give us that.
I think I would be of the position that if it makes operational sense.
It does.
Then I would encourage us to consider
And
that.
it'll increase revenue.
Yeah,
Which means it'll be increased revenue for the city as well.
okay.
I would keep in mind when covering it with padel, you have the walls, the glass walls. You have to. This is for you guys to study whether what kind of breeze you get in there, because you could be covering the sun but getting absolutely no breeze and locking yourself in like a heat box. So that's something you, I guess, would have to decide on how you want to go.
Okay. Further comments, Mr. Manager? Anything you need from us?
No, sir. We would further conversations on how to bring this forward and the vehicle to do that, and certainly finalize some other conversations.
And to see, I know they've shown us a 10-year model, but I think we are limited to a 5-year base term, correct? Or what do we have the ability to go to a longer term without this going to?
Competitive bidding?
Correct.
Yeah, I believe we have the ability. There are some steps we have to jump through.
Okay.
Through the state statute.
Oh, so we're gonna go 255,
That's
065?
a way to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're trying to analyze the most efficient way to do it.
Okay,
But
fair,
that may be.
fair enough. I'm open to that as well. Okay.
Mayor, one more question. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
sir.
Restroom facilities, are we looking anything from a restroom perspective?
So there, if you're familiar, just west of the chamber building, there's a restroom. One of the things that we proposed, and we didn't put it in there, but we proposed early on in the conversation was enhancing it. The existing facility, they're actually kind of nice, size-wise, they're decent restrooms.
How
They
many,
just have,
do you know how many stalls?
I think it's one each, right?
One each.
One each, yeah.
and size-wise, they're okay. They just, they haven't been updated and they haven't been modernized. And Quentin knows this because he gets the calls all the time, but there's the men's room actually jams up pretty frequently, and we're willing to go in there and do a permanent fix because it clogs pretty frequently.
Is that on septic as well?
Yeah, I was gonna ask the same thing. Is it septic or septic?
And so we're willing to, you know, to do some capital expenditures because obviously we want perfectly working restrooms that are modernized, that are painted, that, you know, have, you know, that look the part.
Is the septic strictly just for that bathroom, or is it combined with the Chamber South building? Combined? Okay. That's what I
Combined,
figured. Okay. All right, thank you.
Commissioner Rodriguez.
Sorry, one last question. Like the mayor mentioned, have you found out or inquired how much they charge at Tropical for the paddle?
Yeah, it's very inexpensive, but the tropical facility, which I went and I've went and visited twice now, the first time when the mayor pointed out to me months ago, and I went, and then I went again, and then I talked to some of the players. The players, it's kind of a makeshift court, if we're just being honest here. They just went to a tennis court and they painted some new lines, and the fences are way out further. It feels like you're not on a paddle court, and the players feel that way, and they think that it's kind of rinky-dink. And so, part of the sport is having an experience where you feel like you're, having an authentic experience in the sport. And it's just not, that is not the, and I talked to 5 or 6 players there, and they said, yeah, this thing stinks.
There's no real like operation there. It's essentially you show up and you play. They didn't create any like open play tournaments, clinics, and that's kind of what brings, like, you need other players to play. So if you, and often in this, and that's where we kind of, we've done it before, and we believe we can do it pretty well. It's to build a kind of group of individuals that kind of, play different levels, women's league. Like we kind of play around with it, and we bring a lot of.
These are in my experience the most successful ones are like de facto social clubs, right? So people, it's a social sport. You play in groups of 4, and so you've got to build the community part of it, not just build the facility. So
it's very inexpensive though. It's like $20.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Oh, at Tropical, 20?
Yeah. It's very inexpensive.
But it's
compared
always
to Paddle X downtown or something, which is 100 and how much is it?
Like 120 for the hour, 130.
130 for the hour.
Sorry, Mayor.
Yes, sir, you recognize.
Do they charge for pickle as well, right? Or is that free?
It's like
Pickle.
$2 or $3.
Pickle's free at Tropical.
Is it?
Yeah,
I thought it was a nominal. I thought you had to pay something
free.
nominal.
it's free.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you all. Thank you for
Thank
the
you
time.
very much.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, Madam Clerk, if you could read Resolution 1, please, for the record.
Yes, item 1, a resolution of the Mayor and City Commissioner of the City of South Miami, Florida, approving a letter of agreement and contract with the Institute of Police Technology and Management, IPTM, in amount of $5,000 for the pedestrian and bicycle safety, high visibility, education, and enforcement campaign.
Thank you. Is there a motion on item 1?
I'll move the motion,
Is
Mayor.
there a second?
Second.
We got a motion by Commissioner Gaye, a second by Vice Mayor Corey. Madam Clerk, if you can call the roll, please.
Yes, Commissioner Kaye?
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Corey?
Yes.
Mayor Fernandez?
Yes.
Item passes 4-0.
Colleagues, anyone have any questions regarding items 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 on the agenda? Anything you want to pull for discussion? If not, I'll ask the clerk to read all 5 items, and then I'll ask for a motion
No, Mayor.
on each. Okay. Mr. Vice Mayor, you're good? Commissioner Rodriguez, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Madam Clerk, can you read all items 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 for the record, please?
Yes. A resolution of the Mayor and City Commissioner of the City of South Miami, Florida, approving and authorizing the waiver of certain event-related fees and costs in amount not to exceed $9,460 pursuant to Section 15B-6 of the City Code for a special event known as the Caring for Miami Mobile Food Market, presented by Caring for Miami, Inc., to be held on the 4th Thursday of each month, beginning August 2025 and continuing through July 2026, in front of South Miami Children's Clinic. Item 3, a resolution of the Mayor and City Commission of the City of South Miami, Florida, selecting and awarding construction contract to Mario's Painting and Construction, Inc. for the Gibson Bethel Community Center floor replacement and miscellaneous maintenance project in amount of $106,892, together with a $10,689.20 contingency for a total project cost in amount not to exceed $117,581.20, pursuant to invitation to bid number PR 2025-04. Item 4, a resolution of the Mayor and City Commission of the City of South Miami, Florida, selecting and awarding a construction contract to Sun Eagle General Contractors for the Murray Park Aquatic Center Pool Renovation Improvements Project in amount of $225,779.28, together with a $22,577 contingency for a total project cost in amount not to exceed $248,356.28 pursuant to invitation to bid PR 2025-06. Item 5, a resolution of the Mayor and City Commission of the City of South Miami, Florida, selecting and awarding a construction contract to ConMag Inc. for the Gibson Bethel Community Center outside air replacement and miscellaneous improvements project in amount of $421,899, together with a $20,000 contingency for a total project cost in amount not to exceed $441,889 pursuant to invitation to bid number PR 2025-07. Item 6, a resolution of the City Commission of the City of South Miami, Florida, amending resolution number 005-25-16297 to change the street designated in honor of and after Gail Coachman Alexander to Southwest 64th Street between Southwest 63rd Court and Southwest 63rd Avenue.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Mr. Manager, before we entertain a motion on items 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, is there any impediment to us adopting item 6? It's a county right-of-way. They would just have to concur in the
Yes,
the
they
name
will have
change?
to, they will have to concur.
Okay, but we can act and await for their concurrence,
Yes,
correct? Okay.
that's right.
Thank you for the clarification. Is there a motion on items 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6?
I'll move the motion.
Okay.
I'll second, Mayor.
We have a motion by Commissioner Rodriguez and a second by Commissioner Kaye. Madam Clerk, if you can call the roll on all 3 items, please, or all 5 items. Thank you.
It's Commissioner Kaye,
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Corey,
Yes.
Mayor Fernandez.
Yes.
Item passed 4-0.
Great. Thank you. If you can read item 7 for the record, please.
Item 7, an ordinance of the Mayor and City Commission of the City of South Miami, Florida, amending policy 1.1.1 of the future land use element of the City of South Miami Comprehensive Plan to establish a maximum density of 200 dwelling units per acre in the transit-supported development designation and modify its description.
Thank you. There's a companion item, which is item 8. If you could read that as well.
An ordinance of the Mayor and City Commission of the City of South Miami, Florida, amending the future land use map of the future land use element of the City of South Miami Comprehensive Plan to change the future land use designation of parcels currently designated mixed-use commercial, residential/limited commercial, business office, parks and open space, multifamily residential, townhouse residential, single-family residential, hospital, and public institution to the transit-supported development designation.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Colleagues, Mr. Alvarez is here for a presentation if necessary on items 7 and 8. Do we want a presentation again, or do we want to rely on his past presentation this evening? We're
Mayor, I
good?
just had a quick question.
Yes, sir, you're recognized.
I just wanted to understand, I know last week we had an ordinance that we had to approve for schools in this district. I don't see it labeled there. Is that something that we just approved that it needs to be
Oh,
updated?
No, this is, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was in this district.
Go ahead, you're
Mayor,
recognized.
if
sir.
I may,
Please,
thank
you may.
The item regarding the student housing is the one?
No, not the.
No, the
EAR.
designation on the individualized learning.
Oh, the Individualized Learning Center has nothing to do with
Correct.
this. These are the map changes that you guys already saw March 31st.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I
This
didn't.
is just TSDD, that would be
Yeah.
a modification to the RO or LO designations, correct? In terms of authorizing that use in the future.
Correct. That was last week. That's right.
It was a different.
It's outside the scope of these
That's right.
comp plan and map changes. No problem. Thank you for that. So we're going to thank Mr. Alvarez for his past presentation and apologize for making you wait all this time this evening. And we will open up the floor to a public hearing, as these are both public hearing items. Is there any member of the public who'd like to come forward and speak as to items 7 and 8 on tonight's agenda? Please come forward at this time.
And anyone on Zoom, please raise your virtual hand.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Seeing no one in the chamber and seeing no one raising their hand online, we will close the public hearing. Colleagues, can I get a motion on item 7?
I'll move the motion, Mayor.
Is there a second?
Second.
A motion by Commissioner Kaye, a second by Commissioner Rodriguez. Madam Clerk, if you can call the roll on item 7, please.
Is Commissioner Kaye?
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Corey?
Yes.
Mayor Fernandez?
Yes.
Item passes 4-0.
And can I get a motion on item 8, please?
I'll move the motion again.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner, we have a motion by Commissioner Kaya, second by Vice Mayor Corey. Madam Clerk, again, seeing no discussion, if you could call the roll on item 8.
Commissioner Cayenne?
Yes.
Commissioner Rodriguez?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Corey?
Yes.
Mayor Fernandez?
Yes.
Item passes 4-2.
Okay, thank you. Colleagues, any other items to attend to before we close out tonight's meeting? Anyone have any reports or remarks you'd like to share? Sir, you're recognized if you like.
Fellow commissioners and mayors, I have a student, if you can approach the bench, I wanted to introduce a great student, wants to learn about politics, and maybe you can tell the commission a little bit
By the
about
way, he's
yourself.
very short for the record. I don't know.
By the way, he's 15, 16 years old.
Really? Wow. Holy cow. Okay.
Hi, everybody. My name is Evan Coulter. I go to Ransom Everglades, and I'm just really interested in sort of following a politics, or sort of being a politician one day. My dream is to become part of like the Senate, and so yeah, that's sort of my goal. And it starts here, shadowing Commissioner Kaya.
Look at that. Wow.
So, if you guys need anything, projects, he's willing to learn, and maybe he can shadow you guys and understand how dedicated we are to the city. By the way, he's going to Ransom, but he wants to go to Georgetown, so he's got big dreams.
Good. Good. It's a great place to go, particularly given your interests. So, congrats. Anything else, guys? No. Thank you for being here this evening. We look forward to working with you. Okay. Further comments or remarks? Seeing none, any further business, Mr. Manager, City Attorney? None? Okay, so we will stand adjourned. Thank you very much.